Perfectory Podcast, episode 183, Lamar, Hollywood Werewolf.
James Balsamo has another one out. This one is a documentary.
Well, a fake documentary.
Yes, a fake documentary. It has a fake documentary style. It's a mockumentary.
Yes.
About an actor that becomes a werewolf.
To no real end. But
that's what we're going to talk about, Joe. That's the... yes.
Well, we start with our first category as usual. What did we think of the story?
So the story is kind of a burnt out actor by the name of Elliot Wolf, not to be confused with the director, Elliot Wolf.
Or his dog, Elliot Wolf.
Oh, his dog, Elliot Wolf. He's going through a rough time, but in some weird way, I can't remember. Maybe you can help me out. He becomes a werewolf. How does he become a werewolf?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's just not me. So that happens. Basically, this movie is a mockumentary of like people being interviewed about Elliot Wolf.
That's it. Well, that's
yeah.
So for people that don't know, James Balsamo has a style. He has mastered the art of making movies without actually making movies. So he gets cameos from celebrities. And he puts them together in clips that forward the story, I guess.
Yes.
So this is a collection of clips talking about how these people knew Elliot Wolf and how much they hate him or whatever and why they hate him.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, what do you give it for story?
I gotta give it half a point because I wanted more. I wanted more of like reenactments added into it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would have been funny. More cohesive, like documentary style, because in the mockumentaries, they at least set up somebody to be asked questions, but sometimes it would just go on a tangent of random stuff.
I'm going to give it a half point as well. And as a premise, could have been kind of funny, but it's like, okay, the cameos after a while get a little bit old. But I mean, it's his style. Like, if you like his movies, then you kind of just accept it, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the next category, we have to talk about the characters, which are the cameos, basically.
Andy Dick. Yes.
He's actually great in this. Well, he's always Andy Dick.
Yes.
So he's a kind of a wild guy, I think, just in general. And you just kind of turn him loose, and he's Andy Dick.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, we have tried and true Eric Roberts.
Of course, Eric Roberts thrown in the cameo.
We got Mark, I want to say Torgel.
Mm-hmm.
He played in the original Toxic Avenger. So he's in it. Who else do we have? Because I know there's a lot more.
It's a bunch of people. It's like he gets a bunch of people that are in bands, older like B movies and things of this nature. Just in general, like you said, the cameos of people ranting about the character, they went a little long sometimes. It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
This could have been like a really fun 45-minute movie.
Yes.
But I did like Andy Dick, and I did like, of course, Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts, no matter what you put him in, he's great. Like, he gives it his all.
Yes, he does.
Dare I give this 1 point, Lamar, because of Andy Dick and Eric Roberts?
Do you? Do you, buddy?
I think I'm going to do it. 1 point for that. What you
giving it a 0?
0?
There's too much. It's too much.
You didn't like Andy Dick, though?
Here. I think they're good, but it's just like everything else kind of just drowns them out.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the next category. Special effects.
Were there?
Well, it's a werewolf movie, Lamar. There was a werewolf transformation.
Was there a werewolf transformation?
There was. And then there was werewolf makeup.
And then there was green screen.
Yeah. Another part, and I don't know if we're going to count this as special effects. It's not really a special effect. The opening scene was the cartoon. He opens a lot of his movies with these cartoons.
Those are good.
Those are always good. I almost feel like he should just make a whole movie of that.
You hear us, James? Yeah.
Well, good. I'll give it a half point for special effects. I like the cartoon. The werewolf transformation was garbage, but it made me laugh. So
I agree. Half a point. Yes.
the next category, Lamar. It wouldn't be a James Balsamo film if part of the compilation wasn't TNA. What do we think of this?
You mean trucking and acquirement,
Mm-hmm.
Joe? Yeah. Well, it's a James Balsamo movie. He knows what the people want. They want to see things. So yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was on full display. It broke up the other cameos. I almost found myself just like waiting for the next TNA scene.
And see, that's the weird thing going back to the cameos. It's like, okay, that's a good breakup of things, but then
Yeah.
everything else, it was just like, well, what's this?
And it's just so random how he does it too, because they just get a girl and she's like, well, I knew Elliot Wolf. He had a weird fetish. And then she starts like pouring beans all over herself.
Well, hold on, Joe. Those were sex tapes.
Oh, that's right. Those were the uncovered sex tapes. You're right. Well, I guess I got to give it the 1 point.
Yeah, got to. Yep.
Well, the last category is the movie's called Hollywood Werewolf. What did we think of the use of werewolf?
I mean, it was there. There was no we don't know how he became a werewolf. Were there any other victims of his werewolfism?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a word.
Or yeah, what was the difference between regular Andy Dick and werewolf Andy Dick? Like, did he go on a werewolf killing spree or anything?
Questions that need answers, Joe.
He was just Andy Dick with werewolf makeup. Nothing really changed.
And see, that is a good premise if you work with it, but nothing was done with it.
Well, what are you giving it?
I give it a 0. Do something with your werewolf.
I gotta agree. 0 for werewolf. Like, you could have done a lot of cool stuff with that.
Yeah.
I would just put Andy Dick in werewolf makeup and just let him do whatever he wants.
That would have been
Well, Lamar, we've tallied the score, and this movie gets 2.5 points out of 5.
Right down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you know Balsamo's films, you know what you're getting into. You'll probably love this. It's got all the goofiness, the silliness. I think I would have actually loved it more if it was shorter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, it just went a little bit too long for what it was.
Yes.
Does that wrap this up then?
Yeah, it does.
Hollywood Werewolf. Peace.
Deuces.